mean, the numbers suggest actually that the Lakers do play better when Bron isn't on the floor. So if you're the Lakers and you look more fluid when he's not on the floor, does that mean it's time for bro to change his role?
I brought this up in a hypothetical manner months ago. And I was like, it's just something we have to consider. When the Lakers started the season without him and they were doing pretty well. And I said, when he comes back, it can cause a little commotion. It can cause da da da. I think that's going to happen regardless when you bring in a significant piece of the team after months or weeks or whatever of not playing with him. Now we're seeing that come into fruition, right? And I am just a huge person on like, taking the politics out of basketball. And I already know Chris is going to be like, you can't take Bron out the lineup. He's
$50
got
million man.
but exactly. But like, I think that has to be a reality of the game. And especially with somebody with a legacy like LeBron James, it's going to be difficult to have those conversations. It's going to be difficult to even have that. It's hard to even think like that. Just from anybody, from a fan's perspective, from a coach's perspective, from a teammate's perspective, like it's gonna be like, what the hell are we even talking about? But it needs to be a conversation if you want to be a winner, if you want to do something, if you want to go deep into the season, go deep into the playoffs, if that's your best opportunity, then you have to throw politics out the window. And people really don't like to hear that. Me personally, I'm not necessarily saying like, yeah, take him out the line, da da da, whatever. But I am a big person on what's working. We see it, and you need to make adjustments in real time and take feelings out of it. And I think that if LeBron is the player, the person that he like, it has been so adamant that he is, then he would want to do what's best for the team. And if that's him coming off the bench, then I think that that's what that we would expect from him in terms of like just who he presents himself to be. Not to say the competitiveness or whatever isn't going to take over. Maybe he's going to be like, okay, this is my sign to, I need to do something different. I need to change my workout regimen, whatever the case may be. But I don't know.
Look, I'm with you on this. I think I was the only one in that room. Maybe Kyle, you might show some promise and some true faith, but I think I was the only one with you on this. I mean, it's not how you look at LeBron himself, right? But yes, he's the greatest, one of the top 2 greatest player ever, top 3 in some people's eyes, that's ever played. And I think the hardest thing to do is recognize when that role has to be evolved, especially this late in the career, right? But it's never a knock on someone's greatness. Like Carmelo probably should have done that. There's players that we see that will always look back in retrospect and say they should have taken a role, blah, 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 right? That's just the reality of having a legendary career that goes that deep. Like no one's ever played 8 years in the league, right? So it's like, bro. But what's interesting, I think, right now with the Lakers specifically, because actually we talked about this, like in terms of what they look like when he's not on the floor, you see guys step into bigger roles. And DeAndre Ayton was looking like a good player until Bron came back. And now it's like, bro, you got me trying to play like Clint Capella and they got all that drama. So the team energy shifts a little bit, which we haven't really seen, I think, this drastically in terms of Bron and the team he's on. So I think, that ego has to change a little bit and set that aside for the good of the team. And JJ has to do a good job too, probably setting some standards or backing that up if he's going to try to enforce that. I guess the whole organization would have to do that. But if Bron, in my opinion, were to embrace, a slightly reduced role, but still leading, still doing his thing, maybe still closing out games too, unless it gets to be a thing where it doesn't make sense anymore, but not taking on, a larger piece of that workload, I think it might actually extend the impact of what he brings to the Lakers, like a different phase, different growth plate for LeBron James, which I don't think anyone would have said. Might help them fucking function better and compete for a ring. And that's, like you said, that's what's ultimately the goal, right? You don't play just to play. You play to win, and obviously money too for a lot of niggas, but you play to win. So